Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really ambitious political blueprint from Uruguay's Frente Amplio. It's their plan for 2025 to 2030, and the whole thing is built around this one powerful idea, creating a new collective dream. So, what does that dream actually look like on paper? Let's dive in and unpack it.
This right here, this quote, is the key to the whole thing. There are no societies that change profoundly without a collective dream. It's not just some catchy slogan for a poster. The program uses this as the actual philosophical bedrock for every single policy we're about to talk about.
All right, so this new collective dream, what exactly is it? Let's break down what the vision is.
Well, the first thing to know is how it's presented. This isn't just a laundry list of promises. It's framed more like an invitation, a call to action for the whole country to help build a shared vision for where Uruguay is heading. The big emphasis is on doing it together.
But, before you can sell a new dream, you first have to explain why it's needed. So the document starts with a diagnosis of where things stand right now. It paints a picture of Uruguay at a really critical crossroads.
And here is the core of that diagnosis, laid out as a very sharp contrast. On the one hand, it frames the 15 years of Frente Amplio government, from 2005 to 2020, as a period of progress. Then it describes the next 5 years, from 2020 to 2025, as a period of setbacks, which it links to what it calls a neoliberal ideology that it says rolled back achievements and made inequality worse.
The document then zooms in on the specific challenges. Globally, it points to big forces like ultra-conservatism and the climate emergency. And then back home, it highlights national problems like rising poverty and what it describes as the state's role being weakened. These are the problems that this collective dream is supposed to fix.
Okay, so that's the diagnosis. Given all that, what are the big ideas that steer the ship? Let's get into the guiding principles behind the plan.
The first core idea is desarrollo, or development, but the platform is very intentional about redefining it. So instead of just focusing on economic growth, it pictures development as a table balanced on 4 legs: economic, social, environmental, and cultural. The stated goal here isn't just a higher GDP, it's about overall human well-being.
And tied directly to that is sostenibilidad, or sustainability. And again, this is a broad concept here. It's not just about the environment, it's applied to all 4 of those pillars. The core argument is that it's possible to, and these are the document's words, grow and distribute at the same time. The idea is to have a just transition that doesn't borrow from the future.
And the third key concept is intersectionality, or intersectionality. This is the idea that different forms of discrimination, based on class, gender, race, you name it, they don't exist in isolation. They overlap and compound each other. So according to this view, any policy that wants to be effective has to tackle all those overlapping layers at once.
So we have the dream, the diagnosis of the problem, and the principles. Now, how does all of that theory actually translate into concrete actions? Let's check out the plan in action. Let's start with a really big, tangible number, 6% plus 1%. This is a proposed investment target. We're talking 6% of the entire country's GDP going into public education, plus another 1% for research and innovation. It's a pretty clear signal that the platform sees knowledge as the main engine for this new model of development.
Next up is a proposal that would really change daily life for a lot of people, cutting the work week down to a 40-hour maximum with no cut in pay. Now, the document is clear that this wouldn't be like flipping a switch. It would be a gradual change worked out through collective bargaining between employers and workers.
So, in the economic sphere, the plan calls for a major sustainable productive transformation. This connects a lot of different dots. It links something as basic as guaranteeing clean drinking water with high-tech projects like building biorefineries. It also pushes for things like agroecology and making sure public companies are strong pillars of development.
On the social side of things, the proposals are really focused on beefing up the social safety net. We're talking about key actions like reinforcing the national care and health systems, rolling out a national plan for decent housing, and bringing in policies aimed specifically at fighting what the document calls the feminization of poverty.
Now, when it comes to security, the plan puts forward a pretty notable concept: dispersonalization.
This basically signals a big philosophical shift away from just relying on prisons to solve crime. The idea is to actively promote alternatives to jail time, things like restorative justice, as a way to handle crime and an overcrowded prison system.
Okay, let's zoom out one last time and look at the end game, the big picture. What is the envisioned future here? Fundamentally, this whole document is proposing a new job description for the government. It calls for, and this is a direct quote, a state that promotes public happiness and the well-being of all people. So in this vision, the state isn't just a referee or a service provider. It's an active player, a guarantor of rights, and the main driver of social progress.
And this whole plan is definitely not framed as a quick fix. It's laid out as a long game. In the short term, the goal is to recover from those setbacks we talked about. In the medium term, it's about putting these big structural changes in place. And the long-term goal? That's to finally lock in this new sustainable model, to make that collective dream a reality.
So from redefining development to rethinking the role of the state, this program is a massive, ambitious call for change, and it's all held together by this one central idea. It's a very detailed plan, but it all comes back to a final, really powerful question. What does it actually take for an entire nation to build a new collective dream?